What is up, people of the internet? It is Rupert Alexander Macias here, back at it with another Rupert's Midnight Hours Drive Talks. Anyways, on tonight's episode, I really don't know what I want to talk about, but I do know one thing. That is, I most certainly want to pull out the camera and just talk. So I'm going to freestyle this episode. I'm just going to wing it and just speak from my honest, genuine heart and my mind. And so know that what I'm about to say is authentic, genuine, and also, you know, it's how I feel. And so, you know, I have no choice but to be honest with not only myself, but you guys, especially since I'm winging it. You know, I always kind of wing it. You know, I pull out the camera, I don't rehearse, I don't really, set it up. You know, respect to people who do that. You know, I'm not saying whatever works for you works for you, but what works for me is not overthinking it, because I already know what I gotta do when I pull out the camera. It's all in here. What I gotta do is execute, and execute for me is just pulling out the camera and pushing record. I already know what I gotta do. I just need to pull out the camera, push record. That's my problem. But anyways, dang, dude, my head looks really big. It's huge. Okay, we're gonna do it like that. Yeah, that looks a little better. That looks normal. It's because it's the angle. You know, it's the angles. The angles are big on cameras. That looks normal. That looks like my normal head size. Anyways, what I was saying is, I'm winging it, and so this episode's just going to be a genuine talk. And you know, just a conversation, open discussion, right? Create an open environment in which I can freely discuss about certain topics. I can authentically, you know, voice my opinion and express how I feel. And so that's the environment I'm kind of trying to create right now with you, the viewer, the audience member, the individual, whoever you are. Just know I appreciate you for clicking this video, watching this far, and you know, just listening to myself, listening to me, my voice, you know, my perceptions. And personally, me, I'm very pessimistic on myself, to be specific. Not pessimistic on life. I'm just very hard on myself, to the point where if I don't ground myself, I can become overwhelmed. And it's all self-created. It's almost like self-sabotage. Totally self-sabotage. You know, I overwork my mind, and as is, my thoughts are shooting left and right really fast. And so, you know, when it comes to how I treat myself mentally and sometimes emotionally, I can be my worst critic. You know, nobody can tell me something that'll hurt me, because I've already told myself 10 times worse, you know. And that's not something that I say proudly. You know, it's not something that I say like it's great, like it's necessarily healthy or positive. It's most definitely not. It's not. But one thing I do want to say, accept, and just understand about myself, it's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's how I function. And I'm not succumbing to the idea that I cannot change that aspect about me. I most definitely can if I challenge myself to change. Excuse the shake. This road's a little rough. You know, and we're all capable of opening ourselves up to change. Creating a comfortable space within our internal self to view change as a healthy learning experience, you know. Change is ultimately what you want it to be. And the point of change is execution. In order to be able to say that you've changed, you need to be able to say that you've executed the things needed to wholeheartedly say that you've changed. And so, keeping that in mind, I can change my pessimistic outlook on myself, but something that has been programmed and deeply internalized within just how you perceive life and how you go about life is very difficult to change if it's something that you've innately done since you can remember. And unfortunately, you know, no kid should have a pessimistic mindset or outlook, especially on themselves. I unfortunately carried that since a young kid. And in a way, it's a curse and a blessing. Because although this pessimistic outlook is not necessarily a positive or healthy thing, perception is key when it comes to combating these quirks about yourself. When it comes to combating these necessarily, I guess, character traits about yourself. And so my perception on my pessimism toward myself has ended up in me concluding and resulting in the fact that it's a curse and a blessing for me. It's a curse in the sense that it's very heavy, very burdensome on my mind mentally, and it definitely creates for some very, very low moments in life. But the fact is that if you allow yourself to perceive this in a more blessing kind of way, opening up your perception, regardless if it's a good or bad trait about yourself, the fact is duality exists within everything. Yin, yang, balance, good, bad, positive, negative, up, down, left, right, you know what I mean? The list goes on. Yin, yang, you need balance. That's the key to life. That's the blueprint to life. The complexities of our existence is built on balance. You need evil to have good, and you need good to have evil. You need a male to have a female and a female to have a male to reproduce. Yin, yang. Duality. The same way duality exists within our very nature is the same way duality exists within our own perceptions. Whether these perceptions are on ourselves or on others or on just our codes and ethics and standards and morals and principles in life. Duality exists everywhere. It's the natural universal law in which the complexities of life depend on duality. You know, without duality, there would be no reason. Without no bad, there would be no good. In turn, no reason, right? You know, and in that same mindset, it applies to our perceptions. And going back to what I was talking originally about my pessimism, my perception on my pessimism is a curse and a blessing. Like I said, the curse aspect being that it's very heavy, burdensome, overwhelming on my day-to-day, if I allow it to be. And this is the dualistic nature of it. The blessing about it is that it keeps me accountable. It keeps me motivated. It gives me purpose. It gives me reason. How can I turn something like pessimism on myself into something more cherishable and more health healing? How can I do that? The answer is duality. Open your mind to another perception. Don't limit yourself to just one way of thinking. Don't limit yourself to just one way of living. Don't limit yourself to just what you've been taught growing up. Open your mind up not only to what you feel is right, but to others' points of views and others' ideologies and others' philosophies and others' ways of living. Because how would you know until you try? You won't. And that is, quite frankly, the meaning of life. Experience is the best teacher. What is the point of living? To experience what it's like to have a soul and live a human experience. That is the point of life. Experience is the best teacher. How would you know until you've tried? Be easy on yourself. Forgive yourself, especially from your past. But speaking on my pessimism and giving you my example of what I am speaking on in general when it comes to just concluding this whole discussion, I've came to the park, man, just to park and finish this topic because I feel this passionate about it. And I feel this certain that my words just might help someone. I feel so confident of it that at least one person will definitely benefit from this video. I feel so certain of it. And if you're that person, just know you can do it. Look at me. Look at me. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Face all the odds. Accept yourself. Learn about yourself. Give yourself time to heal. Give yourself time to process your past. Give yourself time to process your emotions, your feelings, your choices, your decisions, what has led you to the point where you're at now. Give yourself that opportunity to learn who you are. Because let me tell you one thing, whoever you are, the viewer, there is a lot of beauty in the imperfections. I see nothing but perfections in all of your imperfections. How? Duality. Duality. Open your mind up to more than just one way of thinking, and that will lift so much burdens off of your back, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. This pessimistic outlook that I've had since a kid has took time for me to understand. Years. And I can't say that it was always a blessing. For a lot of that time, it was more of a curse than a blessing, because I was never happy with myself. I validated my happiness in the way I gave service to others. Putting others first. Acts of kindness. Being a caring person, which at all is not a bad thing. But unfortunately, imagine if you had that same exact, if not more, passion, drive, motivation, acceptance, understanding, will to apply all that energy to yourself. You don't have to be stingy and say, fuck everyone else, excuse my language. But it is okay to be selfish. And let me tell you one thing, and I want you, the viewer, to let this sink in. Don't be afraid to express who you are and express how you feel. It's okay to say no. If someone really loves you, they will accept you for who you are. If someone really cares about you, they will respect your choices and decisions. Otherwise, if they judge you or put you down or argue with you or don't see eye to eye with you or don't want to accept your decisions, do they really love you? Do they really support you? And ask yourself if they are worth giving your energy and power away to them and allowing these people, no matter what title they are to you, a parent, a sibling, a cousin, a friend, best friend, a lover, is it really worth giving them that power to be able to decide what you should do in life, as opposed to giving yourself that power and listening to what you want to do in life? Listen to yourself, respect yourself, embrace who you are, be strong, be vicious, face all the odds, have no fear, have faith, and be courageous. Every day is a fight, and if you have a will, there is purpose and there is reason. Find your will. What is your will? What is your will? What makes it worth getting up every morning? What makes life worth living to you? Why will you keep fighting? And what do you seek for your own happiness in life? And what do you need to do to achieve it? And when will you start acting in order to respect yourself? Change takes time, and that is very subjective. It's very subjective. It's whatever you want it to be. You got my support as long as you're changing in a healthier, positive direction. It could be whatever you want it to be. As long as you're genuine about it, I will support you. It don't matter what the fuck you want to change about yourself, man. It does not matter. As long as you're genuine about it. Life is what you want it to be. Don't let other people decide what life is for you. Don't do that to yourself. You will not be happy. And so remember, life is about duality. The same way duality applies in our everyday life. Red, green, go, stop. Subtraction, addition, left, right. It's the same way duality applies mentally and emotionally. Give yourself the respect to open up to new ways of living for the sake of your own growth. That is how you grow. That is how you gain wisdom. That is how you become mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically independent. And that is how you truly, authentically, viciously, and proudly stand in your power, in your element. And as a guy who is not perfect, and as a young man who has big dreams, and as a regular dude, honestly, just trying to make it against all odds, I should have be dead right now, honestly, man. I don't say that shit lightly. I say that shit as in I shouldn't be filming this video. I should be dead. But I am not, by the grace of God. And I feel passionate about this video. And I just want the viewer, whoever you are, you can live in the same city as me. You can live across the world from me. Shoot, You can be from Mars. I don't know. The idea is, you know, time is ticking, and time is the most valuable thing. Once that day goes by, it goes by. Right now, as the youngest and oldest I'll be, let me tell you one thing. It's November 15th, 2022, 8:07 p.m. Tomorrow, that day, today, would have passed, and I will never, ever, ever, ever in my life get to live another November 15th, 2022 ever again. It's gone. History. Make use of your time. Be easy on yourself and take baby steps. As long as you're making change, pat yourself on the back. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You can start if you're 50, 30, 15. No excuses. Work hard, believe, and change. No matter the odds. I win against all the odds. And I'm going to say this and end it here. I've managed to rise the phoenix from the ashes, only this time to burn a new flame, one with passion. Much love. I hope these words help someone. Don't forget to pray. Don't forget to be grateful. And don't forget to affirm yourself more positivity. Excuse my language, but I'm fucking tired of all the fucking negativity, man. Let's change, people. Let's all collectively change and start taking baby steps on a collective whole, as far as just being a little bit more positive toward each other. Can we all do that? A fair challenge for the sake of our own health. Love thy neighbor. All right? Love thy neighbor. We're all human. No one is perfect. There's no need to judge. Why not understand? Okay? I don't hate any of you. I don't. I know I'm very serious. I've gone through a lot, man. I've developed a thick skin. I know I look serious all the time, but behind this serious face is a lot of pain. The pain that I've allowed to transmute into strength to become the very man I am right now. And I want to let it be known, whoever you are, every single word that came out of my mouth in this video, I meant it. So to my haters, fans, lovers, supporters, whoever you are, stranger, internet stranger, from one human to the next, whoever you are, this thing we call life, you fucking got this. Real quick, Air 5, and you better do it. 1, 2, deuces.